the Geek King, the Nasty Nerd, the extreme enthusiast.
Maniacal Mark, patron saint, the socially awkward. Yeah.
The Duke of Tweed, the Lord of Losers, the champion of jobbers, the dictator of DC, the master of Marvel, as my good friend adapted me.
Yep.
I am the Lord Protector of the Geek Realm, and it's reigning monarch. I am, of course, I said right at the beginning of all those names, the Geek King, and of course, this
Live the gimmick.
is episode 21 of the weekly wrestling discussion show.
Hashtag
Total Markout. I am, of course, joined, as always, by the boss, by the pedantic prick, the prince of professionalism, the leader of the pedantic platoon.
Nice. That has to be a t-shirt. I got the photo out.
SteveJones313.
Yes, hello. The mark of the future here. We'll keep the mark of the present.
And
we
past a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. We have lost our ghost of past, but we should not talk about that. What we can talk about is this week's episode of Raw, which saw a new authority figure being named for Monday Night Raw. More build-up towards the Money in the Bank, including a huge change in the dynamics of that matchup for the WWE All-Stars Money in the Bank.
And something to believe in.
We'll also be talking about some big news in ROH, and we'll be covering SummerSlam 1994, 1995, 1996, and 1997 before the show is over.
And we promise we will actually be doing that this week. I know we said we would last week, but, it got long. I mean, it's warm today, so we don't particularly feel like doing this. And we know that the last episode, we said we would do this, and then we disappeared for a week.
Yes.
But we are back.
But we're doing 4 this week, and there'll be 3 for the next weeks up until the final week where it'll actually be SummerSlam weekend.
And we'll be talking about the most recent SummerSlams.
2012.
Of course, this week we are going to the midnight. We are going deep into the 90s. I mean deep. I mean balls deep into the 90s. We're gonna start off with PG and go all the way to Attitude. But for now, let's talk about how Vicky Guerrero got her fat ass at the top of the ladder.
Oh dear God! I was wondering what the hell was going on there.
I was expecting. I want Brad hitting RK off the top.
That is a Brad Maddox finisher, and you know it.
Actually, I don't know what Brad is. Actually, you keep talking. I'll work it out.
His finisher is taking a shirt off. Surely, that's what gets all the girls to play with.
Actually, did you know that Brad has renamed his fans?
Oh God!
On Twitter, you can find Brad Maddox at Brad Maddox is WWE.
Yeah. And
he renamed his fans Braddocks.
Because that is clever.
Addicts, but Braddocks. I thought it was quite clever. Continue. Wow, his real name's Tyler.
But, so basically, she comes out to basically sell herself as an innovator. And the fact that there is no woman in the WWE more innovative and more authoritative and more landscape changing than Vicky Guerrero. And most of it's pretty much bullshit. But, she makes a point, and she basically is talking about how, obviously, later on tonight there's going to be a job evaluation. And that's what it's all about. Of course, at this point, I would like to point out that she's, of course, accompanied by Brad Maddox, who, up until the end of the night, was the assistant to the supervisor, general manager.
Unless you heard Vicky right at the beginning of Raw call herself the temporary general manager.
Yeah.
They changed it for this episode. I was like, yeah, that's not going to fucking change anything.
Yeah. So, so basically, you've got the match being kicked up by, and also she, it was unique to see Vicky Guerrero climb the top of the ladder. I'll admit, as a small little stunt,
that's it.
Yeah. And so Brad Maddox is a running, swinging,
jumping, spinning, sit-out shoulder jawbreaker. Calls it the deal breaker.
That looked pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, there's a very good one on YouTube. If you put
link it in the description, and we blog it on Tumblr.
We've got to post it on Tumblr first.
Well,
It'll be on there. The Braddocks will have it on there. Don't worry about that.
oh yeah. But
That and also a double knee face breaker, aka the code breaker. He calls the jumping, spinning, sit out shoulder breaker, shoulder jaw breaker. Funny enough, he doesn't use that as a name. The deal breaker.
so so basically up next it was Daniel Bryan going 1-on-1 against the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, the American Dragon versus the Celtic Warrior Sheamus.
Yes, because to get some love from the fans, she because it was announced during this when she was at the top of her, she was at the top of the
Oh yes, I forgot the Dragon.
top of the ladder. Vicky Guerrero was telling how people love her. Isn't that right, Mike? Isn't that right, Brad? And Jerry Lawler pipes in. This time doesn't make a fat joke. Ironic.
Nice.
Doesn't make a fat joke. Doesn't do anything like that. What he does say is that the WWE Universe will get to grade pass or fail on Vicky Guerrero's
More of my complaint of that later.
temporary manager's thing. Whatever.
I said, fuck it. We'll just call it the non-GM. All right? How about that? Because she's not quite a GM, but she's not quite.
She was the temporary managing supervisor.
But she was the managing supervisor of Raw, with Brad Maddox being her assistant.
No, he was the assistant managing supervisor.
No, he might as well have been a PA. Right.
However, so to get over the fans, she declared that she'd made Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus.
Good match to book. Also, I think a lot of people probably had ideas that this wasn't going to be a great match because of Sheamus. But, you're using this match.
I thought it was very good. I thought it was a very good match. Mainly because these two worked quite well together. I mean, if you remember, these two had a 2 out of 3 falls match last year.
Would you say that this level of quality should be the bare minimum for a pay-per-view?
Yeah, definitely a bare minimum pay-per-view match, but this is well achieving over what a Raw and SmackDown match should be.
Yes.
She then made Christian versus Kane, but we'll talk more about that match in a little bit.
Yeah.
And the main event.
Yep.
The Viper and the Orton versus Best in the World.
C. Uh-oh. I thought I
heard something great. I thought I heard CM Punk running into the room there, like, just put me to sleep.
Yeah.
CM Punk.
Best in the world.
He, that was a very good match.
Oh.
And it continued to build up for the pay-per-view by having Daniel Bryan at the end come out and attack both of them.
Yeah.
Which at some point, I think it may be you, someone said that was him being heelish.
Wasn't me.
It must have been someone online then.
Someone online said it was him being somewhat heelish. I personally didn't think it was, because at the end of the day, it's a free-for-all. CM Punk would do the exact same
Exactly,
thing.
he was proving that he was dark. I think it might have been Funk, actually.
Might be.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton as well. And then climbing the ladder with relative ease and taking off the briefcase. And every time WWE.com's, we've got the Raw page, every time it changes the picture, the fucking page goes up and down.
Yeah. Up next, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta.
Shoot!
Versus Tons of Funk.
Oh, somebody call my mom.
And hi-oh! Hey, Tony!
Sweet tea!
But of course, Tons of Funk didn't even get an on-TV entrance.
No.
So you kind of had an idea who was going to win the matchup.
I think they got a on the app entrance.
Aye.
John Cena and Mark Henry, after we got to see the same video we saw last week of Mark Henry.
Yeah.
All I'm asking for is, by the way, if you can hear a dog, it's just a studio dog because the window will remain open during this recording.
Yes, the studio is keeping out all the smarks who have been chanting Chris Harrison.
Yeah, anyone who's chants the wrong name, and I'll get on to that point in a minute because that's something that really
get
bugs
to
me.
it when the moment occurs.
Yes. Anyone who's smart will get bit by Yoda.
And by the way, I would say that tag team match wasn't even worth us commentating on it.
It was decent enough.
It is what it is.
That was a kickoff. That's what a pay-per-view kickoff match should be.
Yeah.
Slightly more on Slam, that sort of thing. We saw a video about Mark Henry's career, and it includes some footage from last week. And then we've got John Cena and Mark Henry face to face. John Cena calls out Mark Henry, Says you want to fight, let's fight. Mark Henry says, I don't fight. I'm gonna give you. Why should I give you the look?
I don't fight for free.
And then, you know what? I will fight you. Does the whole step towards him. John jumps out his shorts. Sorry, his jorts.
Sure, Mark Henry goes to walk away. John Cena goes to walk away. Mark Henry turns back round, clothesline in the back, and
scoops him up like a baby.
Yeah.
And hits the world's strongest slam.
Please, WWE, do something original. Give Mark Henry the WWE title.
No, there was something in this promo, I can't remember what it was now, that I turned around and went, well, Mark Henry's losing. There was something in the promo. I think Cena said something.
It was the whole, you've got to win.
Yeah.
The same shtick he did was saying, but fine, I can understand the point, but it's like, honestly, it drives me mad when John Cena does that, and to me that is heelish, because because it makes me immediately want to say, Cena, who the hell do you think you are? And then the other voice in my head goes, man, now the 10-time WWE champion does more than that. It's like, oh yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just annoys me, and I sat there and went, right, well, I know the result of that one, thanks for ruining that. I'd be very surprised if Mark picks up the win.
Oh yeah, it'll be I will honestly call that an upset.
Oh yeah.
You know,
but basically Cena gets the
Yankees.
Yes. Jericho, Miz was on commentary. Jericho came out. Curtis Axel came out. Paul Heyman explained why he had a black eye because of Ricardo Rodriguez's, personal re-announcing person. Alberto, fuck off and die, Del Rio. I honestly can't stand him as a heel. It bores me.
Yeah, it's the same. At least he's not spruiting on about his fucking destiny.
Nope, because he's got that wrapped around his waist.
Yeah.
Sin Cara went to a double count out. Curtis Axel. I think Jericho picked up the win with a code breaker, right?
Yes. Yes, it was. It was out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then the Miz laughed and whatnot. I think Miz distracted him or some bullshit.
The phrase "blah blah blah" comes to mind.
Yes. Someone goes, "Why is the Usos Shield on the kickoff when it's a title match? Why isn't some other match?" My honest response to that is because the match I don't care about on this entire pay-per-view is ironically enough Curtis Axel and Miz. And I like Curtis Axel. The problem is it's the Miz. I said because they don't want the Intercontinental title to be on there. And someone goes, well, why not Ryback Jericho? I went because Ryback and Jericho is supposed to be a big match. Next up, we had that prick again, Alberto Del Rio, sneaking across our borders. Went against Sin Cara.
Now, this was the thing. Because during this match, wasn't there some sort of shenanigans?
Yeah, Dolph turned up.
Yeah. Dolph, he arrives and starts cutting a promo. And it was going so well until he did the other. I was rather
because that's why he did. Yeah, he did that like that on purpose.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, I'm not. It's not. I would rather have heard him do the full Alberto just to show off that he could do it.
Yeah.
Rather than go.
So just prove how ridiculous it was. Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what he's there to do. So it's like I can't. I'm not saying it was a mistake or a botch.
When he started,
bad. I just said I would have preferred. If he had done the one just to show.
And then he started to mock. When he started to mock, that's when Alberto went out to attack him. That's when Sin Cara came out off the top rope and did his launch. The funny thing for me, it ended in a double count out. Mm-hmm. Why didn't the referee start the count from 10 again?
I don't know.
The fucking count was broken.
Yeah. I just like to point out, by the way, I am on Ask FM. I try not to get too distracted by these things, but I got one question I had to answer there. A troll asked me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious am I? My answer, Lance Storm.
Oh, nice. Backstage, we saw a very interesting promo. Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow, Team Rhodes Scholars.
And
I will only say team.
And I agree with you. Why Team Rhodes Scholars? Why not just Rhodes Scholars?
I will only say team because it is their official name. And
here's the thing. Cody Rhodes was apparently on a radio show in another country where he had apparently confirmed that they weren't a team anymore, according to one wrestling website. And my question is, funny how they're still a team on TV.
Yes.
Just Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got your sight back, I bet.
Prick.
There are two clocks I can't stand, and one of them at least has superpowers.
You pricks. Where was it? That's right. Team Rose Scholars. They've been interviewed about how they feel if they didn't win. Both of them. Damien goes, I would feel great. If I don't win, I would be upset. But would be over the moon if my best friend Cody Rhodes won. I'm sure Cody feels the same. I believe it's Renee. Is it Renee in the back?
Yeah.
Renee goes and passes the mic pass the mic over towards Cody and she goes, Cody and you? At which point Damien brings the mic back and goes, I just told you what he said. And it's the teasing it at least.
Yeah.
Following this up was freaking the We the People, I believe they're called. I believe that's the actual tag team name as well. We the People.
Yeah.
We the People, Zeb, Coulter, a real American Jack Swagger, and one of the good ones, Antonio Cesaro. I've been working on myself.
Yeah. Sneaking across our borders.
He says that because of the about Money in the Bank, and he goes, the financial situation of this country is in dire straits. You don't have to be an intellectual guru to understand that. But Cody, you, as son of an American dream, should know the nightmare this country is living in. And the Money in the Bank, we two real Americans, we will win this. And then, God save our Queen.
Short version.
Boom!
There we go. Weird
Barry in the ropes and goes, actually, I think you'll find if anyone's going to win the Money in the Bank, it'll be me.
Yeah, like that as well.
And Zeb comes along and goes, Zeb turns around and goes, excuse me, I don't understand a word you're saying. Did you even speak English? Yes, the Queen's English. And then they start arguing, and then do it. Much to the boss's annoyance, only Fandango appeared. No Summer Rain.
I wasn't annoyed.
No Summer Rain. Sights are only.
Did that annoy me?
That's what I'm saying. only Fandango, no Summer Rain. Come back to me. I'll show you the NXT match later on.
I just need the pictures.
That's what I mean. I'm not going to show you the fucking footage.
Oh, you're so delightful.
I know, right? And he starts to say his name. Cody, Damien Sandow.
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Which I believe was Cody Rhodes.
Don't. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Done. Boom! Out goes Fandango with a bull hammer to the head. And that's all we got. There was no Dean Ambrose, Dean Ambrose didn't even appear on Raw, I don't think, apart from see the Shield at the top of the stairs.
Pretty much, I think.
And it was what's he going to do? What's he going to do during the whatever title match? He's going to do some fucking awesome selling.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if he walked into the ring, walked out the ring and said, I don't need this. You know, it's like he just walks in and goes, I don't need this, and leaves. So, it's an interesting build-up. I'll keep that till later. But next up, it's later on in the night, we had an interaction with AJ Lee and Big E.
Of course.
AJ's talking about how Big E needs to watch her back. If you start to hear hooves running towards him, that's AJ coming to run her down. That's Caitlyn coming to run her down. And Big E starts laughing. AJ turns around and goes, and you're laughing. He goes, why are you bugging? You beat her once, you'll beat her again. And it's great. And then Dolph turns up, and Dolph says, One moment, just bear with me. I have the quote somewhere. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Technical difficulties. Do, 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 do. Oh, I do have the quote. I had the quote. I know I have the quote. You know why I have the quote? Because I actually put it on the Tumblr. There it is. Right, I'm back with you, people. Back with you. Thank you for bearing that time. When Dolph appears, AJ's all happy, whatnot, he goes, what's wrong? And he turns around and goes, you went out there, I don't know how about the fact that you went out there with me on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown for a match, but I still won because I'm really good. What else?
Yeah.
Which is a really good way of going, fuck you.
He has a very big joke, because she's doing to him what CM Punk did to her.
Yeah. Did you watch my match? What match? And then I cried. I mean, then she cried.
She cried.
She cried, not me.
Cry. You can't cry.
I can't cry.
No.
I swear I can.
There are pictures of Kevin.
Oh, there.
Mm-hmm.
It's got an interesting tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we are on something else at the same time. Now.
On the Total Markout Tumblr page, totalmarkout.tumblr.com.
Yep.
Page 3.
Page 3, we are on page 3.
But anyway, so basically the rest of the show, the big event, of course.
Well, no. Which leads to a match between Caitlyn and Layla. Caitlyn and Layla and AJ Lee and Alicia Fox, which leads to, if you go to page, actually you do go to page 3 Tumblr, TalkMarket.tumblr.com. Yeah, page 3 at the moment. It'll probably be page 17 or something. Yeah, you see, that's one of the.
I know.
You'll see what happens at the end of the match that caused it to be a no contest when AJ ran away and Caitlyn speared it all the way to hell.
Yep.
And then just underneath that, you'll see 4 lovely pictures of Miss Summer Rae.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up next.
Next up was, as we started out saying, was
a big event. It was a big event. Basically, Vicky Guerrero was to receive her performance evaluation.
Now, to you, boss, this was an annoyance, an utter waste of your time and effort.
Well, not so much effort, I suppose.
Your viewing?
Here's the thing. Number one.
Yes.
There was a big part in it that I thought was bullshit. 2.
There's always a part.
And 2, I called it.
Well, of course you called
it. And I called it on this show.
Yes, you did.
The first thing I thought was bullshit. Here's the thing. Right, Vince McMahon was batting for Vicky Guerrero.
Well, yeah.
Triple H was saying this woman sucks. And
Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon was being rather sad. Now, there was a funny moment when Vince and Trips were trying to coerce Stephanie. Vince talking about how he's a big dad president, daddy's
little girl.
And Triple H says, yes, my wife.
Who will have to put up with me at home.
Yeah. This is what happened. Vince wanted to promote Vicky Guerrero to the role of general manager.
Permanent general manager.
Triple H wanted to fire Vicky Guerrero.
Yes.
Stephanie McMahon turned around.
And during this...
Oh, yeah.
It led to me enjoying it because of the fact that Vince was being kind of like, no, it's good, wholesome family entertaining you're doing.
Yeah.
At which point Triple H's reply was, that might all be well and good, but she sucks at her job. And he goes through
Which
it.
I disagree with as well, by the way.
I don't. I think everything she's done is usually getting given towards it or just happening out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff like when matches are put together out of nowhere, or there's no announcement about them, they just happen. Like at the beginning of the show, yeah, it's going to be this and this. It tends to be, well, somebody put that match together, and it wasn't the McMahons. The general manager doesn't always have to be on camera. I
know, but I'm just saying, like, to me, a lot of the good stuff that's happened on Raw is stuff where she's been able to come out and go, okay, well, we'll have that happen. Let them to have a match.
Bischoff did a lot of that.
Bischoff.
He was far more innovative.
Yeah.
I'll grant you that. But a lot of the time, he just went, you still want to fight? Fine. You can fight.
But, it's just one of those things. I mean, in order to be a good general manager, really, you should be able to fill out a business... you should be able to fit out a woman's business suit really nicely, whether you're in a skirt or long pants, and either be named Stephanie McMahon or AJ Lee.
Now that's a little unfair.
Am I wrong?
Yes,
No,
in my opinion.
Am I wrong that they will go both good general managers?
AJ Lee wasn't a very good general manager.
You take that back, you heathen.
She was a good-looking one.
There you go.
But she wasn't a good one. And Stephanie McMahon wasn't that good either, by the way. But she was general manager of SmackDown.
That's what I meant.
Oh yeah, definitely. But she lost her touch when it came to Raw, but that's because her touch was busy elsewhere.
She was almost present up here most of the
Stephanie
time.
McMahon decided, well, we're going to take that poll that the WWE did, and that will decide your fate. At which point I'm screaming at the screen, bullshit. And here's why.
Because the poll was up last week.
Yeah. Let's ignore the fact, and I am saying, despite your disbelief, let's ignore the fact that such a thing would be
fixed
against the law to begin with.
Why be against the law?
Because you can't let the general public determine your job. That's not a fair evaluation. You know,
But everything else was evaluated. She said she wanted to see.
Can you imagine the union reps getting on that shit? I mean, you go, so hang on.
That's why there's no union in the WWE.
Yeah, but ultimately, she's a heel. Fans are naturally going to vote to get rid of the heel. It was a voting of 75% to 25% or thereabouts.
It was fucking great.
To me, I was going, if I owned a company, I would never be doing that. Because at the end of the day, fans, majority of them, stupid.
You annoy me when you say stuff like it's like when I own a company. Because I just like, because you look at that, logically.
Yes, I do.
Not as a wrestling fan.
Well,
you look at it like as a business because you're an e-fedder who, as I said yesterday, there's people who play the e-fedding and people who do the wrestling game on Facebook, Wrestling Unstoppable, are lucky as fuck to have someone like you in it. Because you take everything very, you sort everything out so it should work as in real life.
Probably a bit too much along the lines of Jim Cornette and Cowboy.
Bill Watts.
Bill Watts. I probably take it too seriously. I think part of the problem is I'm one of those people that when he looks at wrestling goes, my opinion is never the popular opinion and it's only mine.
Yeah.
And just because I think one way doesn't mean I'm right. For example, the whole Brad Maddox thing.
Yeah.
I hate the shit that Brad Maddox has been doing. However, recently I said, I'll give him props. He's doing exactly what I would think that character would do, and I think it's kind of cool. But when I see bullshit, in my opinion, I call it bullshit. And the problem is, it's not like a certain host we used to have on this show who thought it was absolute fact. I don't like arguing.
Right, we go. So we go through it, and that's just we got the bullshit out of the way.
Yes, busy.
75% to 25%, as you said.
Stephanie McMahon said, in the words of my father.
But first, as most people didn't fucking pick up on, she goes, Vicky Guerrero, I've got 2 words for you. Nobody picked up on that because she didn't go in the words of my husband, which was weird. That to me screams DX.
Yeah.
And then she turns around and goes, in the words of my father, and Vince is doing what?
I think he was scowling at this person.
Vince was looking at her going, don't do it. Don't you do it. Saying those words. And she looked at him to say, you're, and then turned and looked at Vicky and went, fired. Well, she didn't say it like that. Now, here's my major problem with that part there.
Yeah, go right for it.
I have no problem with Vicky getting fired. Okay. She'll be back. She'll be a managerial role where I think she's more suited, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It also means I only have to boo her once on when she comes out at wherever I am in November, not all the fucking time. Because that hurt my voice. I drink 4 more beers just to soothe it. I was very pissed. The problem I have with that was, Stephanie, you fired people before. Put some oomph into it. It was kind of like she was just going, you're fired. You were going to get fired. You knew that. I knew that. And then we get to Boss's favourite part, because Vince goes over after fucking Vicky has a breakdown. Which, by the way, Triple H laughing at a breakdown and trying to hide it not very well because it's funny as hell. Was the best part of the entire segment to me, because it was the whole Triple H is going, I've got to try and be professional, so let's try and cover this up, and then she just like climbs on the table and that's it and gone. And Stephanie's face when she climbs on the table is hilarious. Where it's just like, get the fuck away from me. Poor Boss's favourite part comes up. Vince goes, don't look at me like that.
Right, you mean like to contempt that you would lie about me?
I'm not lying about you. You love this part.
No, I
It proved you right.
It proved me right, but I wish I was proven wrong.
Vince, consoling Vicky, goes, what have you people done? All of you are wrong. Each and every one of you are wrong. And he goes, you want a new general manager? And not a temporary one. Not a managing supervisor. Not an interim one. He says, you want a new general manager? Fine. You're going to get the one you deserve. Brad Maddox. Now, Maddox does a great job of here of setting the utter shock.
He does.
I don't know if he was told about this.
I think that Brad Maddox, on that night, he played his character really well. I mean, I hate to talk about wrestlers as actors, but he played his part really fucking well. And who knows, he might be a good general manager, or at least a character to play the general manager role. Well,
according to WWE.com's poll, do you think Miss McMahon made a good executive decision?
If it pisses off Stephanie.
30% no, Vicky Guerrero always did her best and should have stayed. 70% yes, Brad Maddox's reign as GM will be exciting and unpredictable. 70% of them think Brad is the next great general manager. Now,
honestly, it's like you can't judge the guy's general managership yet because he hasn't even done anything as general manager yet. You got to give him a chance. Just like I did with Vicky Guerrero, AJLA, blah 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 blah. You got to give them a chance. You know,
exactly.
Brad Maddox might turn out to be the best general manager you've ever had, or Mike Hamley. So really,
you're always going to bring Mike up, haven't you?
So basically,
and actually, no, fuck that. Mike Hamley gave us the championship scramble match, right? And Adam the original. So fuck did Bret Hart do other than get his head kicked in?
The man makes a point. But anyway, in the back, Vicky Guerrero was being consoled by Vince, and Vince was being really cool about it all. And Brad Maddox goes to shake Vince's hand.
He leaves it there.
How long are you going to leave your hand there? And Vicky goes fucking apeshit and starts slapping the piss out of him.
And then in the process, drops Vince's suit jacket. Vince picks it up and after saying, Vicky, control yourself, and goes, you almost ruined my jacket, and then walks the fuck away.
And as Vicky Guerrero is...
a box of her shit.
She bumps into Ryback. Ryback takes the box off her, puts it down, hugs her, then says to her, it's going to be all right. You know, what they did to you was wrong.
You're better than this.
You're better than this. And then gives her a box back and then walks off.
Instantly, the smarks are going, sorry. Oh, fuck. I'm sitting there going, I like that.
Yeah.
I like Ryback being with Vicky because Ryback, while he's not bad on the mic, any extra heat a heel can use is going to be there. And who in the WWE locker room, just by uttering 2 words, is a bigger heat seeker than Vicky Guerrero?
Yeah.
The moment that crowd, and it's any crowd, hears, excuse me!
Yeah.
Instant up and boo.
Does anyone remember when Vicky Guerrero was managing the likes of Dolph? You know, when Ryback was just about starting off.
Yeah, right. When he was when Dolph was Mr. Money in the Bank, Ryback was probably starting off. I mean, it was I think the last time Ryback won a pay-per-view match was actually Money in the Bank last year.
Yeah, I mean
that tells you how long it's like Ryback's been on. People go, Ryback got pushed too quickly.
Yeah.
He hasn't won a pay-per-view match since Money in the Bank last year.
You know, think about it. He's been having some bad luck recently.
Yeah.
What do you do with the manager? And
look what it did for Jack.
Vicky Guerrero isn't necessarily a bad manager.
Look what it did to Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
Jack was having terrible luck. He was on a hell of a losing streak. What happened? Went with Vicky and Dolph. Became a fucking great tag team.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how things would go. Now, you may be wondering how it is that during hashtag Total Markout, episode 21, we've talked 34 minutes about Monday Night Raw. Pretty much about Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And haven't mentioned Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Bray Wyatt. The Wyatt family. Do you know why it is? Because we wanted to leave that till last. Holy shit, boss.
But all through the night, they've been doing these kind of promo things, which are quite interesting.
Where a reporter had been sent to find more out about them. At first, we saw him meet a couple of locals, where he asked them for directions. He never actually spoke a word, but he asked them for directions. And one of them was kind of an old, withered man, and said, he pointed to the guy, this big fuck off hillbilly, who turns around and goes down the track and like that. He goes, and when he's finished saying it, the guy goes, buzzards, you know?
Yeah.
At which point he goes, you'll find him. We go back to him, he's there at the compound. He's at the Wyatt compound. Now during this, he spots Eric Rowan with the, a pickaxe, which is fucking weird, digging into the ground with the whole goats gimmick on the lot, you know? That's awesome, by the way. He's got a goat gimmick on as well, you know, he's dealing away. He spots someone watching him, looks up startled. That's the point where the camera is swung around to reveal Luke Harper. Follow me.
Yeah.
Come with me.
Don't stray.
Man. We look back and Rowan's gone. This is a fucking disappeared in thin air. They then follow. When they get into it, we get to this new compound of the building. Part of the building, a new building of the compound. I will speak. Right, some beer. I thought you would speak clearly. We get through it, and it is at the point where he turns around and goes, "Don't stray." So he's walking through it, and he hears, "Obey, obey, obey."
Stupid cunt opens a door to say
someone who was not Eric.
Yeah.
And wasn't Luke, and it wasn't Bray. So it's another member of the Wyatt family.
But yeah, it might be significant, or it might just be a show that there are followers. We don't know. But the build of the guy could easily be a part of a roster.
Yeah. And he swung around, the camera swings through this. I told you not to stray. Follows him through there. Now he goes through this room, Luke leaves him. And he's trying to open the door, and the door won't open. Yeah. He turns around, and Luke's not there, he's disappeared. Then he swings round. And, hi.
I've been expecting you.
Yes, I'm going to expect.
Bray Wyatt himself.
Bray Wyatt is there.
Can I just point out what a phrase that you made it when someone could do the phrase Bray Wyatt himself.
Yeah. Now that gave me it gave me chills watching it 3 times.
Yeah.
And later on, we have Christian versus Kane. Now it's a decent enough match.
Finished up with a choke slam to Christian, earning Kane the victory.
As he's celebrating, something on the screen.
Dark room.
The Wyatt family vignette that's been going on for the last 2 days start. And suddenly you get a live picture of Bray.
In that rocking chair, in the dark.
In a rocking chair, rocking away. And he starts a promo.
Yeah.
And one of the great lines I caught from the promo is fucking loads, but the one I caught was, "You say I have followers, I have no followers, I have brothers and sisters. I have family." Which is to me like, fucking, here we go. And he goes, You talk about war, I created war. I saw it in a dream, and I saw it in my mind. And he just does an excellent fucking promo. And then...
You wouldn't... meet him on the street, you wouldn't think he was playing a character.
No. And then... Suddenly... It goes blank. Everything goes black. And... A match is lit.
Yeah, lights a lantern.
Luke Harper is behind him, you can see him hovering. And then Eric Rowan appears hovering with the sheep mask. And he's hovering, and you see him, he gets real close. He lights up the lantern. And he turns around, and you hear the word, and you hear Bray Wyatt go, "We're here." It blows the lantern out. And then that kicks into the arena. Hopefully you can hear that. It kicks it, the music kicks in. And here's how you know you've made it. Before you've even entered the room. your music is played and people are that anticipated about you coming into the room, the pop is already there. The crowd cheered and marked out. And then as they walk, you suddenly see Lantern and it's Bray. The entire, all the electrics are probably exit signs.
Yeah, the WWE ones down the ramp as well, so they can see the ramp.
Yeah, and you see him holding it, and suddenly they walk forward, and as he walks, the crowd is buzzing louder, and it's like, oh my god, this guy is over already.
Yeah.
They put him on NXT. They built him up on NXT. They did what they needed to do, and then they brought him over with some epic vignettes and epic promos. And then you debuted him like you did. Now, here's the thing that I kicked myself about. Of course, Kane was going to be their target. Of course he was. He said, monsters are real. We are monsters. Of course he's going to go after the big red monster.
Yeah.
It's his biggest rival. He's been scaring kids now since 1997. For 16 years, Kane has been scaring the life out of children.
Yeah.
What does Bray want to do?
Yeah.
He tells you, parents, stop lying to your children. Monsters are real. It's an amazing thing. You get there, and suddenly he blows the lantern out again.
Yeah.
Well, he turns it off because it's an electronic on this one.
Yeah.
But he makes it look like he blows it, which was a nice touch.
Yeah.
And the Wyatt family, and the lights come back on, and the Wyatt family in the ring, and they attack Kane.
Whilst Bray Wyatt's sitting on the outside.
On his rocking chair. Rocking away.
Was it a chair?
No, he was on his rocking chair.
No.
It's the one they carry for NXT. They attack Kane, they beat him down, and then they get something I've never seen in the movie at least. They get him so his head is resting on the bottom stair. They take up the top stair. They get it so that the V of the stairs, that go into the post.
There's a safe gap.
Yeah, that would go into the post.
Yeah.
And they ram it in the King's head.
Yeah.
And then they just drop down and do their whole, disciple thing.
Yeah.
As Bray Wyatt walks around the edge, flips his hat off, drops to his knees and hits the crucifix pose, and says, I told you we were coming. And that is it. Next thing we know, we cut to commercial. Not before, though. Not before you got yourselves on TV.
This is the part we talk about. Geek and I have talked about this a bit. We have slightly different opinions, but we share the same general gist of opinion. The fans immediately had to start chanting, Husky Harris, because you're a bunch of smarks.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell smarks in the thumb. You know what's annoying about this? It's really annoying. Someone pointed it out on Tumblr, and I believe I reblogged it. You don't call Undertaker mean Mark Callis.
Yeah.
Well, one of you do. Well, the least said about you, the fucking better. In a minute. Here you go. Here's the one. Sorry, here's it. You don't call John Cena the prototype.
No.
You don't call Kane Isaac Yankem. Well, we know a few people who do. You don't call... Hello, Funk. You coming in to sit down for a minute?
No, I came to get a very important item from my brother. My hat. Back in the world.
You'll have to.
Are you disappearing?
No, I just need a hat because
Okay.
my hair's gone all Sharon.
Yes, you should see my hair. It's freak. I look like Fandango mixed with Dean Ambrose. I'm losing my hair and it's gone into a natural curl.
Dean.
We were just talking about the smarks.
Oh, those are...
Yes. You don't call the Rock Rocky Maivia?
No.
And you sure as hell don't call Undertaker Mean Mark Callis. So stop naming repackaged wrestlers by their former ring names. Now, the reason this came about was, guys, Boss said, Husky Harris was chanting towards Bray Wyatt for no other reason than to get themselves over.
Yeah.
Because, as I've said to Boss over the last few days, it's annoying that it's annoying when you've got every crowd in the world now wanting to be New Jersey's crowd after WrestleMania, but the crowd that was like that most, London, gets called out for it by the fucking Smarks, by not realizing half of that fucking crowd was probably in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So my problem is with this: you don't call Undertaker, John Cena by their original names, but you've got no problem shouting Husky Harris to Bray Wyatt. You've got no problem shouting Michael McGillicuddy to Curtis Axel. No problem shouting Albert to Tensai.
Yeah.
Or even some of you've got no problem shouting Easter Bunny to Damien Sandow.
Of course, the stupid twats feel the need to chant Goldberg to Ryback, and it's not even a formal thing of his.
Exactly. Yeah, we get it that you're we get it. You're trying to be clever, you're trying to stand out, whatever. I get that. But you know, there's an easier way of standing out and being clever in a WWE room. You just be yourself and maybe, you know, wear a t-shirt no one else has got.
It's just pathetic. See, talking about Smarks makes me fucking tired.
Really, I thought it was the heat that made you tired.
Yeah, it could be that as well. But it's like, you're not funny, and that's the thing. It's like, former member of the show, Eric Von Gismy, felt that it was respecting them. It's like, the point we was trying to say was, how are you respecting them by, because all you're doing is disrespecting their current gimmick. They're trying to do something innovative and new, and all you're doing is shitting all over it. So that's actually disrespectful. That would be like, you know, if J.K. Rowling tries to write a new story series. That's got nothing to do with Harry Potter. Yeah, all people ever do is go, Harry Potter, fuck you. I hope your dick gets filled with helium so it flies away into your fucking own mouth.
Right. That's enough I'm going to waste on them, quite frankly.
Yes.
However, Kane's injury has ruled him out of Money in the Bank. I'm reading an article that was posted today on WWE.com, which of course would be the 12th of the 7th, 2013, a Friday, depending on when last Friday. Hopefully it was, Friday just happened. With a bit of luck, it'll be literally probably, yesterday or something stupid. Depending when you're listening to this or when it was uploaded.
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, I mean, when it comes to like,
should we say a couple of days ago?
Yeah. It was posted on Friday.
Yes.
The article itself.
Yes. After speculation, it's now official. The Big Red Monster will not compete in Sunday's Money in the Bank All-Stars match, according to WWE.com sources. Mm-hmm. Kane was injured, as we just said, by the Wyatt family on Raw, leaving him with head, and neck trauma. Kane's absence leaves a hole, perhaps the highest stakes match of the year. Will another superstar get an opportunity to compete? .com, that's WWE.com, has posted a few potential superstars who might fill the void.
All right.
The Great Khali.
Let's hope not, shall we?
The Big Show.
Good choice.
He's definitely an all-star.
Yep.
Kofi Kingston.
I'm assuming he's still with an injury, but...
Yeah, I was as well, since he only had elbow surgery in July.
Good. Well,
June, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, he'd be a great addition for a ladder match.
But is he an all-star?
He's been in a continental US tag team, so...
He's only missing a big one.
Exactly, so... Yeah, maybe.
And WWE legend.
Now, what I love about this is on the picture, to represent the legends, they've got the Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, and Hulk Hogan.
I didn't see a problem with all four of them, but there's a major problem with one of them.
Yeah, maybe Hulk Hogan, not all his shit, but he's on TNA.
Yes, the Ultimate Warrior also. No chance of having him ever back.
Just a quick question on the way they've put this picture together.
Yeah. They
could have easily had, this is a slight point, but they could have had someone in between Stone Cold and the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, I'll post this picture up on the Tumblr's face so you can have a look. Geek saving it for me now. But you could have fit another legend in there, but apparently no. Like, put The Rock in there, just a nice picture, but meh, whatever. That'd be funny as fuck.
Or no one. A lot of people think Bray Wyatt online, that's getting spread around rumors that Bray will be a replacement.
That would drive me mad because it's supposed to be an all-stars.
Yeah, the idea is that he'd probably enter himself in it and that. My thing is this: why would it be interesting to see Bray in that sort of match with his gimmick?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be probably only accept it if Bray appeared right at the end of the match. I didn't announce he was in the match and just took the briefcase.
I wouldn't even accept on that level. Mainly because it's like, what the fuck? You know, Bray Wyatt is going. I mean, if he was like I could see if he tried to win it and then they say you're not eligible to win it, and he's like, well, it's mine. He says, no, it's not. He says, what are you going to do about it? I'd say something like that, but then it's a case of, well, if that's what you're going to do, but in the back you hold their answer, then nobody has it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, first one to get of the Wyatt family.
Oh,
gets.
I don't care what happens afterwards. I just thought that would be quite a fun, not a fun thing, but I mean, it'd be a thing that would piss the Smarks off, which is what I'm in a sort of mood of.
I mean, it's curious as to why is Kid going to be off for story purposes? Is it
No word
injury?
No word at the minute. Yeah.
You know, it's hard to tell what's going to be.
Yeah, at the minute there's no real word on it. Right, hold on. Money in the Bank. Let's do a final card look through. Right, we're now as we speak. We're now 2 days, 6 hours. 2 hours. Fucking hell. 2 hours, 6 days, 21 minutes, and 37 seconds.
Yeah, because like I said, we record this on the 12th of July. It is currently now 38 minutes past 6, which gives us 2 days, 6 hours, 21 minutes, and 26 seconds, as Geek said, before the big pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So
the final card. Let's run through this. The kickoff match will, of course, be apparently John Cena versus Mark Henry. Apparently the page doesn't want to load properly. 1 minute, I'll see if I can reload this.
Yes, but the kickoff match, the Shield defend.
Nope. WWE.com's having a nightmare today. It really is.
WWE Tag Team Champions.
The Shield,
as in the form of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, versus the Usos.
Oos!
Oh!
It should be a very good match to kick off the pay-per-view.
Either could win. I reckon the Shield's going to though.
Yeah, same here. Jericho Ryback.
I think Ryback will win this one.
The least hyped match in the entire card.
Yeah, probably.
I think, Ryback will probably pick up with a Vicky Guerrero help.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking anyway. Divas champion AJ will defend against Caitlyn.
Wouldn't surprise me if AJ won, but it would be really cool if Caitlyn won it back and they started to do a back and forth scenario.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm also, due to one of my predictions later on, thinking AJ will lose the belt. And, yeah. Miz versus Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental Championship. Curtis Axel defending.
I reckon Curtis Axel will win to continue the push. I think Miz will find himself stuck in his program with him for a while. Yeah,
I think Curtis will...
Don't be surprised if Miz loses this match and then gets himself into the All-Stars Money in the Bank.
Oh, don't fucking say that. Oh, doesn't happen. Not would, it doesn't happen. I think Curtis will hold it as well. The World Heavyweight Championship, Money in the Bank, of course. Let me just quickly run through the competitors. At least I would have if the picture was there. Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Dean Ambrose of the Shield, Fandango, Jack Swagger, and Antonio Cesaro, of course. Everyone just about... Of course, 4 people in this 7-man match have alliances, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
I think Wade's going to pick this one. It's either going to be Wade Barrett or it's going to be Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm seeing it either that. I'd be happy either way. I'm personally rooting for Wade Barrett.
Yeah, same here.
The Money in the Bank All-Stars match. Of course, we've talked about this a little bit today. And
the All-Stars, you have Randy Orton, Rob Van Dam, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Christian, and Sheamus. And a potential extra person to fill in for Kane.
Be very interesting. Very interesting to see how it goes. Don't be surprised if the way it's set up for a possible Brock Lesnar. I don't think he will, but it would make sense if you think about it for what they have been rumored about for SummerSlam.
I could see it more likely to be Brock Lesnar costing.
Yeah.
CM Punk with that, but I think Daniel Bryan's got a good chance of being the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, my boy D. Bryan. That's who I'm going for. Obviously, the favorite, bookie's favorite would be RVD.
I think your dark horse in that match is only going to be Randy Orton because you never know where they're going with him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think CM Punk is too obvious a choice in terms of because obviously he's on a bit of a roll, and it's very hard to have CM Punk lose a match You know what I mean? It's very rare that happens. But I think your actual favourite's going to be Daniel Bryan. Your bookie's favourite's going to be Rob Van Dam.
Yeah. Next up is Alberto Del Rio defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Dolph Ziggler.
I don't know anybody apart from Chris Larios that doesn't want Dolph Ziggler. That doesn't want Dolph Ziggler to walk out without the title. Chris Larios is not a fan of Dolph Ziggler. I don't give a fuck. But apart that, I don't know anyone that doesn't like Dolph Ziggler.
Exactly. I think Dolph will win this one, and it will set up tension between AJ and Dolph. Because obviously, I think they're looking to split them two
The
up.
flip side of that would be if AJ somehow costs the match for Dolph.
Which would be causing even more tension.
I honestly prefer your vision.
Yes. I don't want them to split up anyway, so it makes no difference. And of course, the main event, which hopefully won't be the main event, because I think the All-Stars will probably be the main event.
Unless the All-Stars Money in the Bank happens before the championship.
I don't.
Mark Henry's unsuccessful, and then Daniel Bryan or whoever it is goes. Mind bitches. Especially if CM Punk wins, because CM Punk wins, catches in a John Cena, and then once again beats John Cena. I mean, but
The WWE Championship.
The WWE Championship. Mark Henry going after the gold as he faces off against the current reigning and defending WWE Champion, John Cena.
John Cena will win. Mark Henry should win.
Yes, exactly.
Right, so that is WWE Roundup. I think we've talked enough about the WWE for now. We'll come back to it in a minute.
Yeah.
Other companies have had some major things going. TNA, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. The main event Mafia is being reformed. Sting,
Makes sense.
Kurt Angle,
Makes sense.
Samoa Joe,
Makes sense.
Magnus.
What the fuck? But okay, I suppose.
Yes, Magnus was announced. Yes, that's right. Brutus Magnus was announced
Breaking your rules, but
as a member of it the week after. Kurt Angle said on TNA TV, right at the opening of a show on Impact, said, to be a member of the main event Mafia, you have to be a former world champion. I don't recall Magnus ever holding any form of world championship, apart from the tag team championship.
Exactly.
Which is technically a world championship, but not really a world championship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Rampage Jackson.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about it. That was his tag team partner. Rampage Jackson is now a member of the main event Mafia.
Because
he's a former UFC world champion, world light heavyweight champion. Yeah, I know. I know from boss. I know. Now here's
ROH.
Yes, ROH. We announced last week. Let me just read the original announcement. Following the announcement by manager August that due to injury, Jay Briscoe will be stripped of the ROH World Championship and the title vacated. There will be in order to crown a new champion, ROH will have a 16-man single elimination tournament. I didn't write this very well. I was busy at the time. With the final taking place at Death by Dishonor at 11. The first entrant, as we announced on the show last week, was Unbreakable Michael Elgin, and the following that was an ROH founding father, Brian Kendrick. Now, following this, in the week we've been on,
yes,
ROH have been blowing the announcements every couple of days, if not every couple of hours. The following participants will be Machine Gun Carl Anderson, the longest reigning IWGP Tag Team Champion, with Giant Bernard, aka Sweet Tea, aka Tensai. Mr. Wrestling, former ROH World Champion, the man who Jay Briscoe beat to hold the championship, Kevin Steen. And the intrepid traveler, former Ring of Honor original again, Paul London. Following this, the sixth entrant was announced as former ROH World Champion. I believe he's also ROH Triple Crown. I think it was the first ever Triple Crown champion. And the leader of Camp Strong, as Roderick Strong was entered into the fray, which will be an interesting one to say the least.
Indeed.
After this, two entrants were announced roughly the same time, as the Panama City Playboy and Steve Carell's favorite wrestler, and a man that boss cringes whenever he gets a hold of someone, Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And the player from the Himalayas, Sanjay Dutt, who's once again is a returnee to the Ring of Honor, just for this tournament, was announced. Now, I think 2 days ago, so Wednesday, the buzzsaw BJ Whitmer was announced as an entrant to the tournament. Now, the buzzsaw BJ Whitmer, former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion with Jimmy Jacobs, and is currently finding his way to redemption.
Yep.
And also is another one that will kick you before thinking.
Yeah. It's kind of like, what? Sorry? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Well, actually, I didn't mean to hurt you that much. Well, yeah, another thing, whilst he's getting the other names, right? Just want to say, ROH. $1,700 for a replica belt. Fuck yourself, alright? Anyway, getting back to the announced
Yes, it was announced. Does it have a date on this? Sorry, no, it doesn't. So it was announced following that the Sicilian psychopath Tommaso Ciampa, who is a dangerous man, a man who can pick up Michael Elgin and into a powerbomb position and then use a backstab on him, has been entered into the tournament. It looks as the tournament obviously begins on the 27th in Providence. It looks as if he'll be looking towards his first match, or at least holding the world title. What the fuck's that say? It's completely messed it up here. Right, the tournament begins on the 27th World Tag Tournament.
9 have come, 7 more will follow, and one of these was officially set this morning when ROHWrestling.com was provided with the name of the 10 individuals who enter into the World Tag Title Tournament that begins on July 27th in Providence, Rhode Island. The man is the one who made a surprising return to the Ring of Honor at Border War 2013. He's coming to a hard-hitting battle with Michael Elgin at Best in the World 2013.
So I am completely right. They have fucked it up. It's not the World Tag Team title. It's the World Championship.
And the problem is, I think part of the problem is because ROH have been trying to push the tag titles as the main titles whilst we're waiting for...
Yeah, for quite a while.
But the problem is, you mistyped because you don't get your own proofreading.
Right, so... Tommaso Ciampa will be entered in the tournament. You want to find out what he's like? Type Project Ciampa, that's Ciampa, into YouTube and see what that happens for you. Number 11 is an original TNA X Division champion. Original TNA, I believe it was a tag team champion as well with Consequences Creed, True Consequences. And... not True Consequences.
Truth and Consequences.
Lethal Consequences.
Oh, yes.
Lethal Consequences. And I almost won the World Championship at one point. But he is, of course, the lethal injection himself, Jay Lethal, a TNA and Ring of Honor original. Ring of Honor, he's a former TV champion. I don't think he's a tag team champion. But he was part of Special K when he entered as Hydro. And he was mentored in Ring of Honor by Samoa Joe. So Jay Lethal has been entered into the tournament. It should be an interesting one to see how he goes, considering I would expect the American Wolves to be entered into this tournament at some point.
It's possible, however, if they're trying to focus on the tag titles, they might keep the champions out of the picture.
Well, they're not the champions, isn't it? Red Dragon are.
Oh, yes, of course. It's easy to get the two. So I'm just quickly checking up on ROH. He's been a pure champion, a world television champion, on a Rumble, and Survivor the Fittest. He never held a tag at ROH.
Didn't think I thought he was. I knew he had 2 titles. I couldn't remember what the set was. Number 12, Team Sexy have entered the tournament as everybody's favorite wrestler, Mike Bennett, the prodigy himself, and of course he'll be accompanied by his beautiful fiancée, the First Lady of professional wrestling, but more importantly, the First Lady of Ring of Honor. Maria Kanellis will be there. Brutal Bob, they've split ways with, so no Brutal Bob to help you. Mike Bennett did recently declare that the Prodigy is dead.
Yeah.
So it's looking to see which way he's going to go with this.
So far, his only accomplishment in ROH is the top prospect tournament in 2011. He's been a world champion, a heavyweight champion in Top Rope Promotions. New England Wrestling Alliance, and Neo Revolution Grappling.
Yeah, he's held a few little belts here and there, but Ring of Honor is really where the big dogs come to play.
Now, in relation to the last one, we need to talk about a new signing.
Yes, Ring of Honor recently signed a young man by the name of Adam Page, who seems to be very new to professional wrestling, maybe a year or two into it experience.
I'm just looking him up now, see if I can find any information on
Number 13, though, will be the chance for two men to be the 13th spot, as Adam Page will fight Silas Young for the spot. This will take place, let me just have a look, on the 27th, the World Title Tournament gets kicking off around them. Silas Young and the newly signed Adam Page will go one-on-one with the winner claiming that 13th spot in the tournament. For both men, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. It is one earned because of how they impressed matchmaker Nigel McGuinness in their recent bout on ROH TV. The winner will then head into All-Star Extravaganza 5 on August 3rd in Toronto, where he will be competed in his first round match. For either Silas Young or Adam Page, this could be the start of a dream come true and all starts in Providence. The man whose dream lives, it will continue on in Toronto, New York City, and Philadelphia over Death Before This on a 11 weekend. And tickets for all those can be found on the ROH store. Numbers 14, 15, and 16 is still to be named, so make sure you either check up with us on the Total Market Tournament. I'm keeping it very up to date with this tournament, or you check up with ROHWrestling.com.
From what I can see, Adam Page, according to Wiki, there's no Wiki page about him, but he appears in CWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. That's Carolina Wrestling Federation Mid-Atlantic, owned by Mid-Atlantic Sports. I'll say that's been going since 1996. It's had superstars such as Ric Flair and all that in its younger days. If it's the same one, which I'm uncertain of, he's part of the current roster there. It might be because there's no wiki page about Adam Page, and I can't find any aliases for him, so it might be that it's just early days for him. So yeah. So it could very easily be just that. So we'll have to...
Yeah, if you give me a minute, I'm just going to check a couple of websites to see if there's anything that comes up about.
And the problem is, there could also be more than one Adam Page. It's not
exactly, yeah.
Not every name is...
Oh, Adam Page Wrestling, AdamPageWrestling.com is showing him up there, so let's have a look at this. Appearances for ROH, NEW Wrestling and SFPW Wrestling in Greensboro, Carolina.
Is that NEW Wrestling or is that just new?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's NEW.
It could that would be like Northeast Wrestling if it was, wouldn't it?
Yeah, something
or
like
New England Wrestling.
Yes, yeah. Probably New England.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically the winner of that match will be the number 13th superstar into that match. So there you go. So after yawn there, it is the heat is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
I am.
So again, he's currently on the Internet Wrestling Database, and he's Arons Creek, Virginia.
There doesn't seem to be much about him at all. If it is him, well, 2013 is up with ROH.
What are the companies?
Northeast Wrestling.
Well, there you go, Northeast Wrestling.
Premier Wrestling Experience. Organization Omega. And Wrestle Kids Association, as well as
Wrestling?
Yeah, he's worked for Pro Wrestling Evo and Evolve Wrestling.
It looks like he's been in ROH before.
He's been in ROH a few times with a few matches. One of his first matches in his first year of wrestling was one match at Ring of Honor. It looks as if that may be his debut match, actually.
One match in 2011. Was it 3 matches in 2012 there?
3 in 2012, and of course he's had 6 matches this year in ROH. Continuing in total, he's only been wrestling since 2011.
Very young.
So I'm fine. A little bit about Silas Young, since we're giving you a bit of information about them. Silas Young is actually the nephew of Stan the Lariat Hansen.
Veteran the Lariat.
Yes. Stan Hansen,
Stan the man.
who's just an awesome man. However, wasn't as well known for when winning the AWA World Heavyweight Championship, went to Japan because he was getting more money for it. AWA ordered him to send the belt back, So he ran over it with his pickup truck and sent it back dented, scratched, and still with the tire tracks over it.
Nice.
Bit of a hostile man, to say the least. It looks like Silas has been wrestling for quite a while now. Debut in 02. He's in hell of condition, by the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
And only 33-year-old.
I mean, obviously, it's some decent talent there. So you got like some Kevin Steen, Jay Lethal, and like in this matchup. So, yeah,
and this tournament will be a very interesting tournament.
So obviously,
and as we're talking, though, Ring of Honor is currently recovering from the Night of Hoopla.
Indeed.
The Night of Hoopla. Take your pants off.
Right. Shall we get into the?
Yeah, we're on the 110. We might as well wrap this up with some SummerSlams before we have a bit of a goodbye from now and goodbye from the rest of the world.
Okay, so with people covering some SummerSlams, we're trying to work out which were the best SummerSlams, the first 12 or the second 12. So we'll go all the way from the very first SummerSlam all the way up to 2012. Today we're doing 94, 95, 96, and 97. 1994 came to you from Chicago, Illinois, in the United Center with an attendance of 23,000 on August 29th, 1994, sponsored by Domino's Pizza. The tagline, "So hot, it's scary."
And featured, of course, The Undertaker versus The Undertaker as its main event and global attraction because two people had declared that they had the real Undertaker.
And some people were brought in to solve the mystery of The Undertaker, such as Leslie Nielsen,
who was actually playing the character from his Naked Gun series.
Not to be confused with
Liam Neeson,
who would find Undertaker and kill The Undertaker.
During this time, it was Ted DiBiase claiming he had the real Undertaker and Paul Bearer saying he had, in fact, had the real Undertaker.
Well, your dark match for that pay-per-view was Adam Bomb defeating Kwang in a singles match in a time unknown.
Following this, you had the pay-per-view kick-off with IRS Erwin R. Shyster.
You still have to pay your taxes.
And BAM! BAM! Bigelow.
Like with?
Ted DiBiase. As they represented the $1 Million Corporation. They defeated the Head Shrinkers, Fatu and Samu, with Afa and Lou Albano. Lou Albano? Captain Lou Albano. Albano? What's going on with my voice? By disqualification in 6:45.
Next was Alundra Blaze, the WWF Women's Champion, defeating Bull Nakano with Luna Vachon. 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Walked in as champion, walked out champion.
There you go.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun.
Say hello to my friend. Razor Ramon walked into the room with Walter Payton to take on Diesel, who was the Intercontinental Champion. Walter Payton, who entered with Shawn Michaels. Walter Payton, of course, was the running back in the NFL with many a team. Not many a team. What am I fucking talking about?
It's the Heat, man. It's the fucking Heat.
The Chicago Bears. I don't know why I thought it was many a team. That's because usually when we talk about fucking footballers and wrestling, they're shit, so they've got to go to many a team. But Walton Payton was anything but shit. In a match that went 13:55 in a very good match.
Yeah, Rizzo picking up the Continental title. But the next match on the card was Tatanka versus the murderer, Lex Luger, in a singles match that had 6 minutes.
Well, that's actually good time.
Yeah.
Next up was JEFF, JARRETT, Ain't I Great, Jeff Jarrett, going one-on-one with Mabel, with Oscar of Men of a Mission. In a match that went 5:45, where somehow Jeff Jarrett won.
Up next was Bret the Hitman Hart defending the WWF Championship against his brother Owen Hart in a match that was 32 minutes and 17 seconds, with Bret Hart retaining the title.
In a very good match. It was I always love when them two wrestle each other. The steel cage match was great as well. And finally, as we mentioned before, the main event was Undertaker versus Undertaker, Paul Bearer versus Ted DiBiase. I believe what separated apart was the colours of the clothing. The accents on Bearer's was purple, where the accents on DiBiase's was grey. And that was literally the only thing you could tell apart, because he even put fake tattoos on on Brian Lee, who portrays the man Undertaker. And I'm just going all over. This fucking heat's getting to me.
Yeah, so in 1994.
Oh, 94 was not good.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Not good at all. Two decent matches, one intriguing thing is not a good pay-per-view.
But then you got 1995, which came to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, from the Pittsburgh Civil Arena with an attendance of 18,062 on August 27, 1995, with the tagline, Face the Heat. Sponsored by Stratex. And your, no dark match, but the match kicked off with Hakushi defeating the 1, 2, 3 Kid in a singles match that lasted 9 minutes and 27 seconds.
Yeah, this was an interesting one to say the least, because this pay-per-view was built around the fact that Mabel, when winning the King of the Ring, became King Mabel, and Mo became Sir Mo. And the fact that we won the King of the Ring was automatically the number one contender for the WWE Championship, so he would face the champion at SummerSlam.
The last ever one occurring with Brock Lesnar defeating The Rock in, what was it?
2002.
2002?
Yes. It wasn't always a thing, though. It didn't always happen. Like, not every year did that happen.
Fair enough.
It was just an interesting thing that happened now and again when they wanted to make it something special.
Consistency.
Yes. Hunter Hearst Helmsley made his SummerSlam debut. Yippee. When he faced Sparkplug Ball Polly. Yippee. And this thing was matched down on 7-10. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, but at this point, Hunter Hearst Helmsley was not the Triple H that we all know and love. I liked him at this point, but only in the point of his moveset was cool. Other than that, I hated Triple H, as I was supposed to. And I could never, ever like Bob Holly.
Up next was the Master of the Mullets, the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart Gunn, defeating the Blues Brothers, Jacob and Eli, with Uncle Zebekiah, in a tag team match that lasted 6 minutes and 9 seconds.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. As we said, it was the Master of the Mullets, but at this point, they'd cut them off. Cut them off and went with some curtain type of hair.
All right,
at least Billy has. Billy had curtains, and I believe Bart just gave himself the crow cut. Yeah. And the Blues Brothers, of course, are better known as the Harris Brothers, and Uncle Zebekiah is better known as Zeb Coulter.
Sneaking across our borders.
6 minutes and 9 seconds, as you said, a decent enough match. Now, one of the most interesting matches in SummerSlam history, with one of the biggest upsets in SummerSlam history, Barry Horowitz defeated Skip, a.k.a. Chris Candido, with Sonny, a.k.a. Trash Hole. You know, you can buy, she's selling pictures at a convention.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard about this?
Yeah, you can actually lie down in bed with her and all that jazz.
On bed, $50. Under the covers, $75.
But it's not prostitution because she's not sick with you.
No, not yet.
Which is technically correct.
Yes. Sorry. In a match that Barry Horowitz won with a roll-up, and you heard the legendary shout, Horowitz wins!
And then
11-21.
Up next for the WWF Women's Championship, it was Bertha Faye with Harvey Whippleman taking on the current champion at the time, Alundra Blaze, defeating her for the title in 4 minutes and 37 seconds.
But Bertha was always going to win that one.
This was not going to be a pretty match.
No. Next up, The Undertaker finished off his feud with the $1 Million Corporation alongside Paul Bearer of Karma, and who was alongside Ted DiBiase in a casket match, putting Karma in the casket and reclaiming the urn. In a decent enough match at 16:26.
Up next, Bret the Hitman Hart defeated Isaac Yankem DDS via disqualification in a singles match, 16 minutes and 7 seconds.
Oh dear God, that made me tired just thinking about it again.
Yep.
Oh, fucking hell. Next up, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. In a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, trying to get some more, juice from WrestleMania 10. And a good match, they just were limited on certain stuff they could do. Shawn became the Intercontinental Champion. Sorry, retained the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah. And 25 minutes, 3 seconds. And then your main event. Diesel, the current WWF champion, defeated King Mabel with Samoa in a singles match for the WWF title, 9 minutes and 14 seconds. Nothing about this pay-per-view really screams great.
I like the fact that on the Wikipedia page there's only 3 paragraphs about the event.
Yep.
And it only goes as far as the rest of the third match.
So your opinions on this pay-per-view?
It's actually a decent enough one. It's just a good one.
Alright, we'll put it down.
There's enough matches on the save it. I believe Smoking Guns and Blues was decent. Hollowitz and Skip, the casket match, Shawn and Razor, and Diesel and Mabel was actually not that bad.
And mark it down as good. As I tell you all about SummerSlam 1996, which came here from Cleveland, Ohio, in the Gund Arena, attendance of 17,000 on August 18, 1996, where the tagline was, Opposites Attack. And your dark match was a free-for-all with Stone Cold Steve Austin defeating Yokozuna, 1 minute, 52 seconds.
Which included a Bikini Beach blast-off featuring Sonny, Sable, Mark Merrill, the Smoking Guns, Marlena, Goldust, T.L. Hopper, Who, and that's not like T.L. Hopper Who, that's actually the wrestler called The Who. Yes, there was a wrestler called Who. Jerry Lawler, Bushwhackers, Aldo Montoya, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and Shawn Michaels. Right, Yoko versus Austin, you've talked about. It's a decent enough match because it only lasts 2 minutes. We kick off the show with Owen Hart defeating Savio Vega in a very good match from 2 technical wrestlers.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you expect?
Most famous to be the first person to receive the Stone Cold Stone.
Yes, in 13:23.
And then up next it was the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart with Sonny, defending their WWF Tag Team Championships in a 4-way tag team elimination match against the Body Donners, that Skip and Zip.
Chris Cantino and Dr. Tom Pritchard.
The New Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Leif Cassidy.
Marty Jannetty and Al Snow.
The Goodwins, Henry and
Godwins.
Phineas, with Hillbilly Jim.
Do you know what the Godwins were famous for, other than being like pig farmers?
No.
Henry Godwin's name was Henry O. Godwin.
Uh-huh.
So what's that spell? His initials?
Pog.
Yeah. And Phineas was Phineas I. Godwin.
Pig.
Yep. Got it in 1 minute. That was their idea of their
Great,
gimmicks.
I could spell.
That's why they got their names. That's why they got their names. And then later became Southern Justice with Jeff Jarrett.
That was 12 minutes and 18 seconds with a successful title retention by the Smoking Guns.
Yeah, Sonny was in that part where she was becoming the first manager to ever manage 3 champions in a row.
So the next match of the night, as Psycho Sid defeating the British Bulldog in a singles match, 6 minutes and 24 seconds.
Oop.
I just fell over.
It's
the heat. It's the heat.
Don't worry, people. We're close to wrapping up because I know you're feeling us pain, but this match was rather painful as well.
You're under a dick.
Goldust with Marlena defeated Mark Merrill and Sable.
Woo.
Well, they were there, not actually in the match. It was alright. Jerry Lawler defeated Jake Roberts and then poured Jack Daniels all over Jake.
Bullshit.
Pardon?
Sorry, I just don't think Jake Roberts should be defeated by Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah, Mark Henry came out to save him because he was on commentary. It was Mark Henry's debut at SummerSlam. Mankind defeated Undertaker with Paul Bearer in a Boiler Room Brawl match where, thanks to Paul Bearer turning on the Undertaker.
It's okay, geek. It's in the past.
Yep. And following that was the main event for the World WWE Championship. At 28:59, Shawn Michaels successfully defended his championship with Jose Lothario when he defeated Vader with Jim Cornette.
Yes, Jim Cornette, we know your issues with this match, but we're not here to cover that. So, Geek, was it a good SummerSlam?
Oh, it's really a mixed bag. Catch me on a different day and it'll probably be a fucking bad one. Catch me on a Tuesday, it'll be a good one.
Okay, but what if we just put this one simply down as, halfway?
Decent.
Yeah, decent. Okay, the final one we're covering this week, SummerSlam 1997, came to you from East Rutherford, New Jersey, in the Continental Airlines Arena. 20,213 people on August 3rd, 1997, came to see the next SummerSlam with the tagline, Heart and Soul.
Yes, this, of course, was the one that, in a lot of people's eyes, and particularly WWE's because they put it on the game, launched the Attitude Era. Everything that followed this, people believe, was really the beginning of the Attitude Era.
So how do you launch the Attitude Era? Well, you start with Mankind defeating Hunter Hearst Helmsley, accompanied by China, in a steel cage match in 16 minutes and 13 seconds.
What most people remember from this match, if I remember it correctly, is Mankind ripping off his Mankind top and revealing underneath it his Dude Love tie-dye top, giving the Superfly sign to the top of the crowd, from 15 feet high, and coming crashing down with a Superfly splash under Triple H.
Absolutely.
Following this, Goldust with Marlena defeated Brian Pillman. As a result of the loss, Pillman had to wear Marlena's dress until he won a match.
Interesting idea.
Yeah, I believe, though, I'm trying to remember this, at some point, they did the match again,
Yeah.
but this time the stake of the match was if Pillman won, he got to spend a weekend with Marlena. And he won. He spent a weekend with Marlena, and suddenly when he came back, Marlena acted very differently and said that Pillman was nothing but a gentleman. It was an interesting way to go with it.
Well, your third match of the evening was one that Geek's gonna like. Legion of Hawker Animal defeating the Godwins, Henry and Phineas. Tag team match, 9 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah, the Godwins had a dispute had a bit of an issue with the Legion of Doom after when the Legion of Doom hit Henry with a Doomsday device, they broke his neck.
Well, you know, piss Legion of Doom off, they will fuck you up.
Next match was for the European Championship, where the British Bulldog successfully defended his championship against Ken Shamrock. However, it was a bit by disqualification, just a little bit.
Yeah. The next match was Los Barracas. Savio Vega, Miguel Perez Jr., Jose Estrada Jr., and Jesus Castillo defeating the Disciples of the Apocalypse, Crush, Chains, 8-Ball, and Skull in an 8-man tag team match, 9 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, this was very much right in the middle of the Gang Wars rivalry. Next up is a legendary match and a legendary pay-per-view where Stone Cold Steve Austin took on Owen Hart for the WWF Intercontinental Championship in 1616, and that was because it should have probably been 12-12, to be honest. But for 4 minutes, Austin couldn't move, couldn't walk, or do anything else because, as Owen Hart would say, Owen 316 says, "I just broke your neck."
Well, when the situation like that happens, you got to make the most of it.
You have.
And finally, the main event. It was Bret, the Hitman Hart, taking the WWF Championship away from
The Undertaker.
Of course,
fucking Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels was the special guest referee, and if you remember, at one point Bret Hart went to strike Undertaker with a chair. Shawn Michaels took the chair off Bret Hart, sorry Ryder, went to hit Bret Hart with the chair, Bret Hart got out of the way, hit Undertaker with the chair, Taker goes down, Bret Hart goes on top, 1, 2, 3, Bret the Hitman Hart becomes the new champion, thanks to Shawn Michaels. Geek, this is your segment, you gotta watch! Good pay-per-view or not?
Fucking great. It is really good. I enjoyed the hell out of 1997 when I get a chance to watch it.
So as we wrap this up, that means next week it's 98, 99, and the first SummerSlam of the 21st century, 2000. But that's it for us this week.
Yeah, as we're standing though, it's 4 bad pay-per-views in the whatever the fucking the 9 we've done.
Yeah, we've got 5 good.
Yeah,
we've got 4 bad, and we've got 1 decent. So, like I said, that's enough for us for now. We're going to go get some bacon burgers.
Yeah.
So, from SteveJones313, #boss, the pedantic prick, the producer of the show, the sometimes uploader, although I'm getting a little bit better at it,
well,
the evil editor.
Well, you don't edit much at all, do you?
No! I make sure that it fits in with the intro.
The Vice President of Video Projects.
The Vice President? What do you mean the Vice President of Video Projects?
That's VP.
VP.
Yeah.
So he's the President. Me as well. I want both.
Well, you're President of Projects.
President of Production, the Vice President. And the Vice President would be the Vice President of Video Production.
You're vice president. Okay, you mean executive vice president of editing and video products.
There you go. And of course, from the Geek King, the maniacal man, the patron saint, the socially awkward dictator of DC, the master of Marvel, the breeder of dark horses, he is none other than the Geek King. All bow down to the, him.
And with this heat, rather than giving another long way of saying goodbye, all I'm going to say is Marks out.